I went on your cruise in March. It's phenomenal. Came back to a whole new life. Love it. I just have a question. I feel like I turned my momentum and I'm going the other way. But I still have a tendency to hit the brakes.
It's all right. You're speaking exactly to what we were talking about. When you feel compelled, follow it. And otherwise, tread water.
Yeah. Okay. But my question...
And don't beat up on yourself for treading water.
Okay, yeah. But my question goes basically to, should I look for the reason why I hit the brakes?
Nope.
No? Just keep going?
No.
Because I feel like there's something here and I keep hitting those brakes and I need to find out why I keep hitting the brakes.
Well, in general terms, it's because you don't trust that your point of attraction is where you want it to be. Feel the difference. You see, you're speaking to exactly what we're talking about. When Jerry and Esther decided that they were going to be together, nobody pumped the brakes. Oh, everybody they knew were pumping the brakes all over the place. But Jerry and Esther didn't feel like pumping the brakes. But when you feel like pumping the brakes, it's either one or the other. You either have a strong impulse to move or you don't. And that's what you're calling pumping the brakes. Let's not make it so definitive as pumping the brakes. Let's just call it not yet a strong impulse to move.
Okay.
That's enough.
Yeah. So, another question, if you don't mind. Romantically, I'm okay. I love everybody. I still feel like I want some romance, but I don't really care if it happens or not anymore.
So let's take this specific subject and let's apply it to the conversation that we just had.
Okay.
We have some questions for you, and they're very straightforward questions, and so just answer them as easily as you can. The impulse to answer them will come easily to you.
Okay.
Do you acknowledge that you create your own reality?
Absolutely.
Do you acknowledge that it happens through the direction of your thought?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that there's another part of you thinking thoughts? Not just you, but a non-physical part of you that is thinking thoughts?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that that non-physical part of you knows everything that you've decided that you want in a relationship, and that's what your inner being thinks about?
Yes.
Do you think that your inner being ever thinks about that not coming?
No.
Do you think that your inner being ever notices that it's not here yet?
No.
Then do you think your inner being is the problem, or do you think you are?
I am, obviously.
So now that we have defined what it is that your inner being, and so did you hear us earlier when we said that every time you feel negative emotion, 100% of the time, no matter how slight or severe it is, it always means there's some deceiving going on. You are telling yourself something that your inner being is not in agreement with. Mm-hmm. Earlier in this conversation today, did we convince you at all of the power of the point of attraction of your inner being on your behalf? Did you hear that your inner being stands in your vortex with no resistance, focused upon what you want, and the power of that attraction is enormous? And if you weren't doing that thing you do, taking score, worrying, comparing things to other people, remembering the past, forgetting about these new things that you are understanding, if you weren't doing that thing you do, you would be a cooperative component, and that rendezvous would happen quickly.
Yes.
And to your question, to the precision of the point that you were making, you would feel an impulse toward it. It wouldn't feel like pumping the brakes at all. At all.
Yeah.
So your inner being says, there's one. And you say, unsure, pump, 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 pump. Your inner being says, no problem, there are many. There's another one. Pump, 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 pump. So you got to get off this subject because you've sort of overworked it. Everybody does that. And find something that's easier so that you can show yourself what it feels like to follow through with an idea. Your vortex already includes everything that you want. So we just have to put it out to you. What's the holdup? You know what it is? It's looking at now and being upset that it's now instead of that. That's all that it is. Your awareness is upon what is, which is preventing what is in your vortex from coming into your experience. And no one's preventing it, only you. Only you not being the cooperative component to your own vortex and inner being. That's all that it is. We know you heard us, and we know it's a lot to hear. But it will start showing itself to you as soon as today. Start with easy things. Make a short list of things you sort of kind of care about, and let the universe show you how quickly it can land it right in the middle of your manifested, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it experience. It's time for you all to let your desires be known by you. It's time for you to allow yourself to feel the worthiness of your being. It's time for you to be the deliberate creator instead of the creator by default. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Get out.